And the trade commissioner threw his hands up and said, "That's not my job. I got the designer, I got the store. You guys figure it out." So that's where we come in.
Why didn't they know how to make it happen? It was just there's just
Who
too many.
pays who? How is the designer going to ship the collection? Who gets paid? I mean, there's a million little line items that must be checked when you are buying and selling and shipping internationally, especially merchandise like this.
Wow. Well, why has Miami become such a fashion tour de force?
Everybody in the world comes through Miami. Miami is a huge opportunity. It's clearly the gateway to Latin America for many, many things, including the fashion world. Everybody from Europe comes through Miami. I mean, the world comes here. So the fashion influence is tremendous. It's just a city that is getting, more and more important. More designers are moving bases here. Reem Khan is a big designer, that has been in New York for many years, but he's had a home in Miami. He's decided to move his operations here.
That's building very interesting.
He's building a big warehouse and factory down the Miami River. He's working with government resources, and he's creating jobs here.
Well, when I was in the modeling business, it was really big. I mean, we were the third largest market. I mean, for everything, whether it was fashion or movies or television or print or whatever. New York was always number one, and L.A. was number two, and Miami was always number three. And then in terms of fashion, it kind of went away. This was probably in the late 70s, early 80s. So fashion kind of went away, and people weren't going to fashion shows, and they weren't showing as many designers. What brought it back?
The department stores were always doing, fashion shows, be it Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus. I mean, these were my steady clients at the time. Burdines, Macy's. When Macy's opened here in Aventura, we had Calvin Klein. I was in that show. So over like in the 80s, they were the 70s and 80s. There were all the shows were for charities and to promote the designers in the stores and things like that. But I think then in the 80s it started going into the fashion catalog, photo shoots and things like that, and then that just kind of burst its way out after 10 years or so, because everybody in the world had been here shooting their fashion catalogs with the same background. Because South Beach is only 10 blocks long.
Right.
How many pink buildings can you have in your catalogs over the years? And then we started with Miami Fashion Week, and the real meaning of a fashion week is where the designer is there. This is not just clothes off a rack or clothes being shipped in a box. A fashion week are designer personal appearances, and that's what I always prided my shows on, because I had the designer, I had the creator of those clothes, that collection, here taking his bow at the end of the show.
And who were the attendees that came to the show?
Hundreds of international media, buyers, celebrities, fashionistas. People were traveling from all over the world to come to the shows. Most fashion weeks are closed. They're for the industry only. Miami Fashion Week was open to the public. And the whole concept behind that was that 95% of these designers were from another country. We were introducing them to the American market. I wanted the people here in America to get to know who these designers are that they're going to start buying in the stores the next season. So the concept was to have the people come here and learn who these designers were. And some of the designers we had, became stars.
Well, I can see that, and I just think it's so interesting because, as you travel around the city of Miami, it's so casual. People seem to go casual everywhere, and to know that we have become a mecca for fashion, and the fact that you have opened this up not only with Miami Fashion Week, but with the council is just amazing. So, what would you think are your next steps?
My next steps are to continue building the deliverables and the benefits of the council, the different opportunities we're going to have for different membership levels. It will be set up like a Chamber of Commerce. It will be a membership-based organization. According to your membership level, you'll have different access to different databases. We will have databases of pre-qualified buyers, showroom representatives, agents, some manufacturing, information on the different trade shows that are around the country, which ones are successful, which ones are not. Your online sales platforms, e-commerce, the East Coast versus the West Coast, fashion and technology, trend reports, colored monthly newsletters, and so much of understanding the American business etiquette and how to merchandise and promote their products properly in the U.S. market. And this is all huge information that these guys are dying to find, and they don't know where to go get it.
Well, that's quite an undertaking, Beth. I'm gonna ask you, how can people find out about this? What's your new website, and where can people go to find out about this, or to, introduce this to someone they may know who is a designer who might not be aware of what you're doing?
Right. Well, we are building the new portal now. The website is www.cifd.net. You can also go to sobolfashion.com. That's my landing page while we were getting the new site built. You can see a little bit of the information of what's going on, what the council is going to be, and the other endeavors that I have going on as well. You can sign up. You can email me directly at beth@sobolfashion.com.
And that's SOBOL fashion.com. Okay.
Correct, yes. And I had my first live webinar last week to promote the council and to announce our new plans. And we had over 500 people from around the world. There were 15 countries represented on this webinar. And before I even finished, I had designers signing up from Dubai, Trinidad, Mexico, and several other places. So we haven't even launched the website yet, and I've already got members coming in.
I think it's interesting. You mentioned Dubai, because my next question to you is going to be, I don't think this is going to be the Latin American designers. I think it's going to be the worldwide designers. I think
absolutely.
Your influence is going to be global and worldwide. I think that will be very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I said in the beginning, it's the same questions that I've been getting year after year from any designer from any country. I've been to Dubai several times. I've been to India. I know those markets. I know those designers. At Miami Fashion Week in 2008, we were the first platform in the United States that ever had a collection of habayas and shalayas, the robes that the Arab women wear. And there was a spectacular couture collection that the designer brought.
Wow.
From Dubai. Mm-hmm.
Well, people who are listening, if you want to get a hold of Beth, you can get a hold of her at Sobol, SOBOL, fashion.com. She's building her new portal, her new website. She is creating something just wonderful here in Miami. And I would suggest that if you know designers, if you are involved with design, if you are a retail store, if you are interested in any of these things, you should go to her website and certainly check out what she's doing. Wonderful, wonderful new information, Beth. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gale. I appreciate it, and looking forward to some exciting new things for everyone here.
Yes, and this is Dr. Gail Carson thanking you for listening to Women in Business, the show that brings you entrepreneurs and owners of businesses and senior managers. Did you enjoy this week's show? Then join us next week for more exciting and informative guests on Women in Business. I would love to hear from you as to people you'd like on the show, questions you have for me, and you can always email me at Gayle, Gayle, Carson13 @gmail.com, or go to my website, spunkyoldbroad.com.